Michelle, what's your ambition?
I want to be a doctor who will spend one day at least helping the poor. How about you?
Oh, I would like to be a music composer and create happy music.
You know, even though we have dreams and aspirations, we can't achieve great heights unless we have people to support, encourage, and help us to realize our dreams.
Oh, I had good parents.
And we have sisters and teachers too. अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी नहीं कुछ भी.
हर कोशिश में हो
you, sister. You brought a glow into our lives.
Thank you, sister, for enlightening me and enabling me to get a rich harvest.
Thank you, sister. You kindled a spark and gave me new life. Thank you, sister, for bringing life to our lives with your love and aid. Go light the world. Be a ray of hope to the needy.
What is the recipe for successful achievement? To my mind, there are just 4 essential ingredients. Choose a career you love, give the best that is in you, seize your opportunities, and be an active member of the team. This proves right for our versatile chief guest, Dr. Sandhya Venkatswamy. I call upon Jessica Austin of Standard 5 and Tarya Elizabeth Jacob of Standard 4 to introduce our distinguished chief guest to the gathering.
I'm indeed delighted to introduce the Panjandram Dr. Sandhya Venkatswamy. Ma'am is a dermatologist and a cosmetologist by profession who currently works for Apollo Nova and Apollo Day Surgery, Chennai. She also runs her private clinic at Alwarpet.
Doctor's educational qualifications are MD in Dermatology, PhD in Dermatology, Venereology and Leprosy, and her MBBS at Sri Ramachandra University. Has done a certificate course in the aesthetic dermal injectables.
Ma'am has a professional experience as a research scholar in the Department of Dermatology at Sri Ramachandra University and has conducted camps at various places of desperate need.
Dr. Sandhya has done her specialization in dermatology, cosmetology, pediatric dermatology and dermatosurgery.
Doctor has done many researches in her field and has contributed her valuable write-ups for a few journals.
Ma'am is also a member of the Indian Association of Dermatologists, Venereologists and Leprologists.
Doctor has won the second prize for oral presentation at the Dermazone South Conference in the year 2010.
Ma'am has a special interest towards pigmentary disorders, dermatopathology, pediatric and adolescent dermatology, infectious diseases and in the social upliftment of transgender community.
It is overwhelming to announce that Dr. Sandhya Venkatswamy is a proud alumni of Good Shepherd. She has won general proficiency for academics consistently during her school days and has represented our school for Tamil and English elocution contests and has regularly participated in debates, dramatics and dance competitions, and she has also won the first place in the inter-school on-the-spot English elocution contest in 1999.
In spite of all her hectic schedule, she takes time off to spend with her family and home and loves gardening and cooking, thus manifesting her role as a successful homemaker too.
Ma'am, you have brought laurels to yourself, your family and our school. May you continue to be a luminary to others around you. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you, children, for giving us an insight of the achievements of our honorable chief guest. I request Rakshana of Standard 4 to felicitate our chief guest with a bouquet, Tozania of Standard 4 to offer her a memento, and infant Maria of Standard 3 to present a gift as a token of our love and gratitude. Sow the seeds of hard work, determination, and endurance, and reap the rewards of achievement, success, and self-fulfillment. It's indeed our pride and privilege to have amidst us Dr. Sandhya Venkat Swami as our chief guest, a person who is committed to her work, and with confidence she is proving herself to be a successful personality. I humbly request Dr. Sandhya Venkat Swami to share her valuable thoughts with us.
Reverend sisters of the Good Shepherd congregation, parents, teachers, and my little Gucci's. The last time I came into this auditorium was in the year 2000. It was our valedictory function. We were leaving Good Shepherd, and after that, this is the first time I'm inside this auditorium. The last time I heard my name called from this dais was by Mrs. Lima Rose. She's not with us here. We were rehearsing for the valedictory, and she said, Sandhya, stop disturbing everybody there. So, girls, that is how school life is. Don't try to make it too hard on yourselves. Good evening, everybody. This is actually a moment of very mixed feelings for me. I'm very excited to be presiding over this beautiful Parents' Day ceremony. I feel great pride to be recognized by my school to come back as a chief guest for one of our very important functions. And there's extreme nostalgia standing here this moment. I've stood on this stage many, many times. I'm having goosebumps. I've stood here, dramatics, debates, I don't remember now, investiture ceremony, Parents' Day, dancing, singing. When the kids were dancing and singing, I couldn't stop. I really wanted to get on the stage and dance with them, but they got scared anyways. So I need to make a special mention today for the first Bharatanatyam performance, Neha for saying the wonderful welcome address, the skit about terrorism, where we had our very beautiful fairies, the naughty fairies, the very handsome terrorists, Mrs. and Mr. Sam Anderson and their family, the little sisters who were working in Nepal, the blood donors, and a couple of very intelligent doctors too on the stage who were doing cardiac surgeries. Girls, this is not just drama. This happens in our life eventually. After 15 years, I'm standing in this auditorium feeling the same euphoria that I have felt every time that I've stood here. When I stand behind the mic, I don't know how confident I look, but my legs will be shivering. And even today, my legs are shivering. And I don't know if you would understand it, but I am shivering. When we would come here for our dramatics, our debates, they would give us these cups and medals and shields, and we will be screaming so much the next day we won't be able to speak. But today I'm not able to speak because I feel very emotional. But emotions apart, my topic for the day, or rather the theme for today, is to reach into the darkness to help a hand which may require your help. So instead of giving off a big speech, I want to tell you some stories. I could always remember stories. I could never remember theory when I read it blank. 60 years ago, inside this auditorium, there was another girl who was sitting just like how all of you are sitting, looking at some other chief guest, giving her a talk about how to become a big achiever in life. Years later, she went to medical college. Years later, she became a microbiologist, and she was the first Indian woman doctor in Chennai to identify the HIV virus. She was Dr. Suniti Solomon. We lost her. We lost Suniti ma'am last month. It was a big loss to the medical fraternity. She did immense work for the HIV people. Anyways, so I was thinking, everything is there. The mishap of the day hasn't happened. So and I feel very, very complete. So talking about Dr. Suniti Solomon, she gave the HIV people a reason to live, a reason to hope. She got them married. She gave them families. As of today, it may not sound like something big, but at her time, to openly work with HIV-infected people itself was a big thing. She was one person who reached into darkness and pulled a lot of hands to light. When we were in school, in fact, when I was in junior school, Dr. Suniti Solomon came as the chief guest for our Parents' Day. I was sitting right there watching her, and they said she is also from Good Shepherd and she's a doctor. And I said to myself, wow, I hope one day I can stand where she is standing today. And it's very overwhelming to have done it already. More than once today, we have spoken about Dr. Abdul Kalam. We know him as a nuclear scientist. We know him as the president of the nation. What we don't know was he was someone who always reached into the dark. When earlier people were afflicted with polio, we were giving them calipers weighing 3 kilos. Small children who were weighing 20 kilos, 25 kilos, to carry 3 kilo calipers was not an easy joke. One day, there was a doctor who met him and said, "Sir, can you do something for our kids? They're not able to carry these calipers." He set to work. He gave them calipers that were 200 grams, and all those kids walked very easily after that. Another of his achievements was the Kalam Raju stent. At one point, to do open heart surgeries, we needed 1 to 1.5 lakhs just to buy the stent. He came up with our own Indian version, the Make in India version. It was just 10,000 rupees, and millions of children even managed to get their stents free. So you are asking me, right, all these people did a lot. What have you done? Well, I haven't done much, but I still have my lifetime, and I hope I will do a lot for the society. But there is one story I would again like to share with you. It was the year 2005. I was just out of final year of medical college. I was a house surgeon. I was going with my professor, very proud, white coat, stethoscope. I'm seeing my patients. I had my files. There was a man sitting on the bed and a child sitting next to him. They didn't look related in any way, but they were clinging to each other. His hand was wrapped in a white band-aid or a plaster cast. So when they removed the cast, we were all shocked. His hand was still attached to the rest of his body by merely a little bit of skin. Most of the hand had been cut. So we thought, oh, he's got into some fight, some brawl, somebody cut his hand. And then he told us his story. Just then in December, the tsunami had struck Andaman. And he, among millions of people, was floating in the water out of his house. Being a young, healthy, active male, he could do nothing against all that water that was taking him out of his house. At one point, he saw his family float away, and he said to himself, there's no point in me living anymore. My family is gone. I'm going to let go. At that point, he saw another kid, the kid that was sitting next to him at the hospital that day, floating past him and reaching out to him. He said, as an instinct, I just held on to this kid, and I said, okay, once the water comes down, I'll leave him and I will go. The water came down, and when he turned back, he realized that the window that he was holding on was a glass window, and it had cut most of his hand. But his mind only wanted to save that child at that point, and it was his determination. There was no muscle, no bone, no nerve helping him to hold on to the window. Just pure determination that made him hold on to that window, and he saved that child, and today they are a family. 15 years down the line, we still see them. We still see them in the hospital, and they are a very happy family. I'm just telling all of you that a lot of good things, a lot of bad things happen in all our lives. Just forget the bad, look at the good, keep going, and one day, I'm very sure that all of you will be able to stand on this stage and talk like me, and hopefully one of you will say, there was a Dr. Sandhya who came to the stage and inspired me to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your school experiences with us, and for your words of encouragement and appreciation, and for your inspiring true stories and words too. It was a pleasure listening to you. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Our correspondent, Sister Maria Rose, believes that faith is the light that guides us through the darkness.